Have you guys been watching the real estate market and you've seen the housing market has peaked? So, is it time to sell now or should you wait? I've got my partner Robin here. She's going to
Hello.
go over some things with us and let's dive right in and let's see what we think about this housing market. So, first things up, interest rates. So, interest rates are going up. We know that we've seen them, that this has been going on for a couple of months. They're right now at 5.43. So, that's causing a lot of buyers to kind of put the brakes on things and stop looking at the houses that they were looking at before. What do you think about that?
That is so. And we've actually seen some price reductions too, Lindsay. As I was showing property yesterday, I did notice that some of the agents have actually started marketing their prices down. So we need to jump. If you're ready to buy right now, you need to jump on this. If you're ready to sell, you need to get on the bandwagon to sell.
Mhm. Yeah, we've seen some price reductions. I've seen days on the market lasting longer. And you got to look at like numbers wise. So if you have a mortgage rate right now that you got at 3.5%, which you could have done that a while ago, and you're buying a $700,000 house, your interest in your mortgage payment every month is going to be $3,100 a month. If that jumps to 7.5, which we're 2 points away from that right now, you're looking at $4,800 a month. So that's a big difference every month that you're paying for the exact same thing that you could have got last time. Now, I know Robin's probably going to go against me here and say, well, 5.43 is not really that much, but just for what we've been used to, it kind of is.
Well, of course, Lindsay, my first house was an 8% mortgage, and my current mortgage is a 6.5%. And I did not feel the need to refinance. But, it will make a difference if you're buying in these markets, and that's what's probably going to drive that price down.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying it's doomsday. I'm not saying the sky's falling just yet, but we are seeing a difference here with that. And in fact, the loan applications have fallen 2.3% just this past week. So we do see that is making a difference. But like she was saying, I do feel like buyers especially should go ahead and buy right now. So what is happening are buyers that were approved for a $250,000 home. Now that the interest rates are going up a little bit, they may not be able to quite get $250,000. So if you're wanting to sell your home and you're wanting to get 250 out of it, you've just cut that pool down some because not everybody can afford that now. So you're shrinking that pool. So that's why it's so important to take advantage of the times when they're doing good like they are now.
But don't let that scare you if you're a buyer, because that interest rate is still a good interest rate. As we've done an analysis, the interest rate over the past 30 years has really not creeped up that much. We did go into a low back, a couple of years ago, but now we're going back up a little bit, which is still fine. As I said, my interest rate was 8.5% or 8% when I first bought my first home.
And I think it depends on the level of house too, because if you've got a
Mm-hmm.
cheaper home, that interest rate is not going to affect you nearly as much. So if you're looking at the 100s, you're not really affected. But when you jump on up, that's when you're going to really see it kind of affecting you a little bit more there. So if you're a seller and you're wondering, have I missed the time? So that is really going to depend on your market. Everything in this housing area is the market. So if you're comparing our market here in Georgia to San Antonio, Texas, there has been a big shift. And I was kind of looking at some numbers there. And the San Antonio market has already come down a lot quicker than our Georgia market has, because we're still seeing several homes that are getting multiple offers in our area. And it's still some of the cheaper ones. And it's even some of the nicer ones. You get some nice homes that have some extra curb appeal and they have some really unique stuff about them. And we're still seeing multiple offers. And in San Antonio, that has really slowed down. Like there's a bunch of houses that are still on the market and they're giving seller concessions and they're doing things like that. So it really kind of depends on the market and what your property has to afford the people.
So if you're a seller, don't hold off. Make sure that you sell this summer. If you really want to sell, make sure you sell this summer.
And I think that would kind of also bring us to the next question of why are you selling? So if you are selling and you're just wanting to make some money, which, I mean, who doesn't like to make money? Like, I'll take that. Then you've got to have a plan on where you're going to go and why you're doing that. But it's like she's saying, if you're planning on selling, and let's say that you've got to sell by the end of the year, I would personally go ahead and sell and get that done out of the way and take advantage of where things are right now instead of waiting. But if you're somebody that, you don't really care and you're kind of on the fence, really weigh those options, because if you're buying, you're going to be paying those higher interest rates as well. And you could still be facing some of the tough markets that we're seeing where they're still having multiple bidding wars and things like that. So kind of weigh those options as to why you are selling and where you're going to go. So what is your plan? If it's to rent, that's something else you need to think about too. What can your rent get you? Because I practice what I preach, and I have my house for sale right now because I feel like the market is where it needs to be for me to get the most money out of my house. And we were just going to rent short term until we could get things kind of figured out. But our rent is going to be significantly more than my mortgage. I got a really good interest rates. I wasn't paying that 6 and 8% interest. I got a really good one. And so with I'll just tell you guys, my mortgage is $1,200 a month, and the best rent that I could find is $2,000 a month.
Yes.
So I would be paying $800 a month every month because I'm wanting to rent. So kind of weigh that out and see, like, is that worth it, to pay that extra amount if you are going to rent, or would you pay the more interest rates if you are going to buy? Like, where are you going to go, and what's your plan looking like?
And do remember, I was a loan officer prior to this, and so that interest rate is deductible, and that the rent is not. So why not go ahead and take advantage of having that tax advantage?
Yeah. No, that's a really good point about where that is and kind of what's going on. So I'd love to hear what you guys think, where with this market and what's going on, where you're at. Definitely talk to your local real estate agents and see what's best for you in this housing market. But like I said, I just believe in what I say, and I think right now is the perfect time to sell. That's why I've got mine listed for sale, and we're chugging along here.
And I think it's the perfect time to buy, Lindsey.
There you go. We got a winning team. Well, awesome. If you guys like this, make sure you check out this other video here where we go over more things to do in the seller's market. As always, I'm your unicorn real estate agent, helping you turn your home dreams into reality.
All right.